My name is Joe Scale, and I'm here to discuss the new Lethal 8 changes. So, this is how the game originally looked. This is a short video I made of Lethal 8 demonstrating how the beginning area looked, how the starting spawn works, or looked, how the gameplay is, and what the jump scare is. Alright, and this is what it turned into, IGTC, or otherwise known as Ear Game. You have to hold the A button and wiggle your hands, jazz hand style, to kind of walk. You have legs in this version for some reason. I don't know what the developer was doing, but this is how you walk around. You have to use key cards to open certain doors to get better scrap. Some scraps you can sell and make money to get grenades. This is the jump scare. And this is the version we're on now. Go ahead and let your eyeballs take it all in. Right off the bat, you notice the game's popping. It looks a little different. They got a quality menu right here. So Potato looks exactly like how Lethal 8 used to look. Okay, looks fine. Good is what you want to go to if you're using a Quest 2 because it can handle it just fine and it looks better. The normal looks like it would work better on a Quest 3. But yeah, going onwards with the good quality. I looked at the computer. I forgot that they don't have an option to change like specific things that a lot of these fan games have. When you first come through this hallway, it looks like how it used to. And then you look to the left and they got that new little spawn point right there with the entity cubes. And if you come this way, you see there's a new hallway. We're going to explore that later. If you take a left here, it brings you to the classic area. So down this hall, to the right, there were 2 vending machines in the previous games. That's no longer there, so you no longer have a safe zone right there. They kept the classic white monster. I don't know why they got rid of the brown monster, but it is what it is. At this point, I was trying to rush over to see if they had the pool, and then died. So while running here, I noticed that they added a big metal door to the pool area, so that gave me hope that they actually put a pool into the game. And then come to find out, they did in fact add a pool. However, there's no water. And then this guy that was modding the game came in, and he was just telling me about how the pool works. I thought he was swimming, but he was actually just flying. When you get into the pool, you don't have any low gravity effect. You can't swim, you can't jump higher, you can't do anything. When you get in there, it's basically like a pitfall. So you gotta actually climb your way back out, which is extremely difficult considering the fact that they added a sloped wall for some reason. They thought that was a good idea. They thought they were clicking with that. That it kind of sucked. I vowed never, ever to get back into this pool after I got out. It was really just a whole situation. He was trying to teach me how to do a Lucio run, as he would call it, and I'm just like not even that good at Gorilla Tag. So like I only just know the name of it. I don't know how to actually do it. So I just stuck to doing the wall bounce, and eventually I got out.
I'm never going down there again.
And it was just a bad time all around. So I don't recommend going into the pool in the new remaster. So at this moment, I decided to test my luck, and I juked the monster. And then I saw a whole crowd of people, so I figured that this would be the perfect opportunity to get the monster to chase someone else, and that's exactly how that went. So I went to go see if they put the elevator, and lo and behold, there's no elevator. Probably never will be, since they actually took the time to get rid of the button. No button means no activation, which means probably no elevator ever. Then the hacker guy comes back and tells me how he's hacking, and how he can be my eyes so that I can get through some stuff. And I was like, okay, sure, whatever. And so he went on to tell me if there was any monsters by going underground and then seeing for me. At first I didn't really know if I could trust him, but he turned out to be a good ally. And so I started rushing. I checked out some places, even though he told me not to. Like this used to have something in it, and now it doesn't even have like the single thing it had inside of it. It's just an empty room. Just like a lot of things in this remaster. So they took the cave from the previous game that they had, and then they made it brighter. It used to look a lot darker and scarier, kind of like this.
You're heading the opposite way. No, they're coming. No.
I'm not too sure what making what's supposed to be a very scary area instead of a horror game brighter. Like, I don't even need the actual flashlight that they gave you, but maybe it's because they added like a faster monster that like you actually have to rush to get away from, because he will get you if you stop for even just a second. But they put the anti-entity cube. I heard from the modder guy that you have to pay for it to actually work. Which, I mean, pay to win, I guess. Woo. Oh yeah, and one of the major downsides to this version of the game is that they took out the ability to do snap turning and smooth turning. So you kind of just have to turn with your body. So if you have a really small area like I do, don't do this game's version. You can go find another port, and the other port has snap turning. I ended up punching a table twice and punched a bed to where I almost hurt myself. Along here, I decided to go the extra mile. As you can see, they took away the camera and stuff, so we can no longer actually watch people in the camera and see if there's a monster around the corner. We kind of just have to hope. So if you used to watch cameras, you can no longer do that. They also seem to have gotten rid of the key cards. The doors are just always open. Here I went through the dark area. As you can see, it's far brighter than it used to be. There's a little safe zone right here just in case you get trapped by a monster. They tend to camp though in areas like this, so I don't recommend coming in here. We sat here for a good minute, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut to the next part. So here we are at the stairs. They kept this thing going on. However, as you can see, they have the lights on for a brief period for some reason, and then all of a sudden it's dark again. So don't get used to the brightness. The people that were around me at the time thought things were getting scary, but I was pretty unfazed. I was pretty disappointed with how lack there of monsters there were. Sorry for my English right there. That my brain broke. They took away the camera here as well. They kept the trash can, but they got rid of the camera. So down this way is the way to the garage and lobby. He told me that Gus was coming, so I started to wait. So it takes a little while for him to actually let me get past without complaining about me dying and me worrying about dying, because I want to showcase this area for you guys. Alright, first and foremost, we have the garage section. It used to have lights turned on, and it used to be a lot brighter for some reason. They actually did a good job darkening the garage, because it didn't make any sense why it was light. They added blue lights to the garage, and yeah, they kept the safe zone just in case you're getting chased by a monster.
This is open now.
For some reason, they opened this garage door. So I went up to check what was up there, and you would be surprised, another garage door that's closed. So I don't know why they did that. I don't know why they didn't just leave the door closed.
Just go underground and say, come here,
yeah.
I'll try.
So I went back down, and I didn't really investigate further because I just assumed that it was like the normal garage from the last time I went into the garage in Lethal Ape. He told me Gus was coming, and then I took cover, and then I came back out because he said that Gus walked away. So I went up to what they said was the new level in the game. I was kind of excited because the new map took the place of the lobby, and so that's where we're gonna head. Right off rip here, you can see that the lobby looks different because of that blue light lamp. And now, as you can see, there's a bright yellow rectangle. And that was where I was headed, and it turns out to just be the back rooms. They have another variant of Gus. The new variant of Gus just looks like Gus, but if he took a lot of steroids and got really jacked. And then, he seems like he's slower than the original Gus, too. So, like, you can really just jump around him, no problem. I was not expecting him to be so big, though. They said his name is Bus here. Look at him, he's jacked. He's absolutely jacked. He's really slow. You can just like do like a light pace and you can outpace him. Don't trust these anti-entity cubes, as I said. I was told that you have to pay money for them to actually work.
Come on, bud.
So they were trying to get him to stop, but it wasn't really that good of a job they did. So here I was trying to get back at a relatively quick pace. There were a lot of a lot of people in this game who are modding right now because I think since the new update, the game is very susceptible to APKs, and it is what it is. I don't really care what people do in this game as long as they don't get in the way of what I am trying to do, which you can't really do that in this game anymore with the key cards. Back in the day, they used to have like key cards, and you would have to use them to open and close doors, and people would often camp areas and they would close themselves off. For some reason, they thought that was a fun thing to do, even though it just cut off half of the map for everyone else, and it also put them in a position where they just kind of sat there like a potato.
Something is coming. Listen, go.
So right here, I decided to go into speedrun mode because I saw the monsters run downstairs for just a second, and I was like, I'm taking my chances, and so that's what I did. I started going fast, and I was scaring the other people because of the way I was breathing. I don't know why they were getting jump scared since they're no clipping out of the map, but they thought my breathing was scary. But I am out of shape, and I'm fat, so like, going into a full arm swinging sprint was pretty difficult for a long period of time. I just kept going though because I didn't even want to stop for a second, since it was like any given moment a monster could pop up. So we were just going.
Bro, I hate long. You guys get up.
But yeah, I was going up, and then I was taking a right and taking a left, and then I was gonna take another right, and then I was gonna make sure to go through the lobby side once I get to the point.
In fact, not breathing makes me want to breathe more.
Just stop breathing, bro. It's not that hard to stop.
And once I get to the lobby side, you just hop upstairs. I got stuck for a second because all these games seem to have like the same kind of like
To
coding.
the wall for a second.
So like the arms don't have collision, but the hands are the only thing that have collision, so you can get stuck and stuff really easy. We got to here again, but this time I had a different plan because screw these anti-entity cubes.
Bro. You guys just stay up here, guys. Just stay up here.
So we were running from the monster at this point, going through these halls, and then we come across a dead end. And at this point, I was shaking in my boots because I thought we were cooked. I was shivering my timbers. But then I remembered that this place is really tall for some reason, so we just like ninja across on top. However, I suck at it, so I fell, and he ran past him, somehow surviving. And I was like, oh, okay, you carry on with that. You keep that monster. And then I went this way. Along this way,
Where's our guide?
I saw one of the biggest trolls I've ever seen in my life. A giant hallway, and you won't believe what's at the end of it. You absolutely won't believe what is at the end of this.
What the heck's down here?
That's right, it's just a dead end. There's absolutely no reason to go down this hallway. It just leads to nothing. So I had to make the walk of shame back. When I got back, what seemed to be like the only legit player that I have met along this way, he discovered the way to go, and so we went down there, and then the hackers were like, oh, don't go down there, there's a monster, it's scary, blah blah blah. So we went back up for a second, and let me tell you, I didn't really wait that long because I just wanted to explore the area. So at this given time, we were straight chilling, but I got bored of chilling, so I went down there. They told me it was scary, and I was like, that's the point of the game, isn't it? So I went down there, and it just turns out to be a black, red, and white hallway situation with just a labyrinthy type feel. The hacker guys are still here. They're kind of exploring. They're not really telling us if there's a monster or not, so it was kind of bad.
He's right on you, dude. Don't turn around.
So I let him know that there was a monster right behind him, that he shouldn't look back. There was a door-looking situation. I didn't know what was up with that, but I assumed that it was nothing. So I continued down this way. The monster was slowly gaining on us because he was like a lot faster than the other monster. Plus, I kept sliding, some kind of weird drift situation. I couldn't stop it. It was kind of terrible. And then I wasn't the only one that died because the British monkey friend that I made, he popped up again because he died too. And then we decided to go up here because we were going to explore it. It turns out, by the way, it's just the Primal Fear Cave. That's all that's up there. I didn't show it in this video because I was dying. This game causes like heat exhaustion like no other. Plus, the enemy was camping it so hard. There was no reason for that. Look at him. You see that? He camped hard. And then the hacker guys kept like floating around over there because I don't know, they thought it was funny or something. They didn't really have anything else to do. They're not like playing the game legit, so they're like no worries, no cares. But for the people like me and the British monkey dude, we wanted to see what was going on up there. As you can see, he's kind of flailing his arms like, what the heck, dude? I want to go up there, but you know. It was a short-lived tantrum. We decided to do something, and then he immediately got jumped by the new monster they added in place of the brown monster, which is like a black monkey with green eyes. So I ran this way, trying to get out of there. I was dying of exhaustion, but I decided to escape and go up the elevator shaft. I don't know why they just don't get rid of the elevator lines. It's not like they're going to add an elevator. We went this way, up here again. I had the plan to go into the back rooms again and try to go through the that checkered maze, is what I'm gonna call it. But then I got jumped by him and I gave up. So I was gassed, so this is the end of the video. I appreciate you all for watching. Go ahead and like and subscribe. Go ahead and comment what I should do next. I appreciate you all for watching, especially if you're still here. Have a great rest of your day.